got a great asset from Juventus Football Club this morning with that square picture that is actually telling us everything that we will speak about in today's video. There is everything inside of that picture. The past, the present, the future. The past, present, and future with one man or with one young man. We're speaking about Vasilije Adzic. That is bringing us to the recent past. Juve Inter, mamma mia. Of course I'm still thinking about it. Of course I still think about that 91st minute cannonata, the bomba of Vasilije from 35 meters that is going there. Boom, goal, and that is bringing us 3 points. Of course I'm still enjoying that game. The present, who is he? When can he play? How many minutes can he play? And the future. What is the ceiling that he can reach? What kind of player can we compare him to? And we'll speak about, of course, that in today's video, but also bring us to the future in that image with the third kit that is opening officially season 25-26 of Champions League. Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I'm asking you to support me if you want, of course, with a maximum of like. Not forgetting to subscribe to the channel. You know, it costs zero and is supporting me as a person, but also the channel and the community so much. I would love to start speaking about Champions League, but first of all, don't forget that it will be the press conference of Tudor and Locatelli, 4 p.m. Italian time. And then also don't forget that we need to speak about Serie A. That is not over yet because there are still 2 games with Cremonese that can go at 9-on-9. Reaching Juve, reaching Napoli with the all-in after match day 3, and then discovering what Como is doing against Genoa this evening. The surprises of yesterday, if we want, is Tuttosport that is telling us Ciolitoro with a fantastic, really beautiful goal of Giovanni Simeone that is bringing us a beautiful gift, beating the Roma of Gasperini 1-0. Really ugly, bad Roma. Still don't understand why they didn't play with a striker. They wanted to risk Dybala. Another time injured. Anyway, we don't care. And then the game that people were waiting for because they wanted to point finger. They wanted to mock Milan. Milan that is doing it in the Allegri way. And I don't want to speak about Allegri too much. But he's back in the most Allegri-esque way. 1-0 win. Cordomuso with a really strange defensive lineup, with a Modric is playing more in the back and scoring that 1-0 goal, a goal of an old, experienced player of 40 years old, an Adrien Rabiot that didn't need a lot of time to enter and adapt to what Max Allegri was asking him. It was really funny to see, especially that red card of Max with the jacket that is putting it on the ground, going crazy, mamma mia. Against a referee that is bringing us bad memories, of course, because it was the same referee of Juventus Salernitana with that goal that we don't remind a lot of time of Candreva with the hand, and that cancelled goal of Arek Milik for that offside that they went totally crazy. Anyway, I know that what they have in mind. Pay attention. I don't know if they will reach it or not, but I know what they have in mind. Don't count them dead. Like you don't have to count Inter dead, but Milan, they have a plan. What they want to do is repeating what Napoli did last season. Losing that first game 3-0 against Verona, everyone was mocking them, and then these dirty, ugly wins of Antonio Conte, bringing them to the Scudetto. Hopefully it will not happen this time, but that's what they have in mind. Pay attention. Now, what I cannot hear, it's impossible, guys, on the 15th of September is Conte Juve si fa bella. Conte Juve, now it starts to be beautiful, referring to what, Corriere dello Sport? To the Serie A ranking, to the Scudetto race. Guys, we're the 15th of September. We played only 3 games. Can we be a bit calma, tranquilli, before going crazy? But no, they don't want, because Gazzetta is going with the same things, with Sogno Scudetto, the Scudetto dream. Yildiz and friends, they don't want to put limits on themselves. Like Juve ci crede. Juve is believing in that dream of the Scudetto after the victory against Inter and reaching Napoli at that first spot. The ambition of the signora, of the lady, is thinking in big. Calma. Oh, calma. I would love to have a dream. Of course, I love to have dreams. Are beautiful to have, but can we also be, in a way, realistic? Look at the game against Inter. Guys, we won, and I'm super happy, Super happy. The goal of Kelly, the goal of Yildiz, the goal of the brother Thuram. We spoke about all of that yesterday. That final goal of Vasilije Adzic, everything beautiful in that way. There is no more beautiful way than the way that we did it. And of course, you have that Energia, that proud against Inter that was in the final of Champions League 5-0. We all remember. Don't forget, never forget that really epic moment. But calma, 35 games to play in Serie A, plus the Coppa Italia, plus the Champions League that is starting tomorrow. Is it not a bit too soon to start speaking about Scudetto, guys? Calma. No, because then we will fall. We will hurt ourselves. Think about it. Don't speak about fourth spot. But calma. Calma before being serious. But I know why they are doing it. Of course, it's trendy. They need to sell. And who can they put in their front page to sell papers? Kenan, Vasi, the young men of today. You saw what happened after the goal, after all the teams celebrating with Pinsoglio, with Vlahovic, with Perin, to Vasi. After they were all gone like a real mature leader. You have a number 10 that is going to that number 17. Remember, I mean, a bit 10 and 17s from the past, if you are thinking about it. Or 10 and 21, 10 and 9. Anyway, these duos that we all remember. Dybala, Pogba, Dybala, Higuain, Del Piero, that is going hand in hand with the Trezeguet. Buffon with Barzagli is beautiful. Now, what is he doing? He's doing the same thing as we do here on the channel. But this time he's doing it on the shoulder of Vasi. Bravo, welcome, you deserve it. But calma, do like me, cool, tranquillo, feet on the ground, Vasi. But especially because of that post-interview, 2 kids, 20 years old, 19 years old, speaking in a language that is not even their language, full of emotion after that Derby d'Italia. That word, Scudetto, slips after the question from Diletta Leotta. Guys, being next to Diletta Leotta, I know a lot of men that already lost their mind, but then being next to Luca Toni, being next to Bob Bovieri, of course sometimes you lose a bit of lucidity in what you're saying, and I must say that these kids, they did really well in that post-interview, really, really well, but that's why they are surfing on that wave. They believe in it, they want to win the Scudetto. Calma. Now it's true that after the game Juve-Inter, well, Juve is discovering un Adzic nella manica, an Adzic in your sleeve, playing with the word un asso nella manica, an ace in your sleeve, which means you have a jolly that nobody knew, that nobody saw coming. You have it, boom, you put on the table. How much will he play this season? How many minutes will he be able to replicate it? That's what we will discover. Depends on him, how much intensity he will put, how much seriousness he will put in training session, because we know it, and Tudor, he always said, the game is the easiest part. Where you win, it's in training session. Where you win in terms of progressing, in improvement, and deserving that ticket that says, I start the game, or I enter and I change the game. So super important for him. And calma. Don't buy today La Gazzetta dello Sport, where they are telling us the future is, because they go already with some comparison that hurted some people. Fagioli Pirlo, do you remember? I remember it really, really well. Here they are starting. Juve, what a treasure. Adzic, the shot of Lampard, the penetration, the insertion, how he's entering the spaces like Jugovic. If you're speaking about Jugovic or Juventino, what are you thinking immediately? At 30 years of the last Champions League, of that penalty, the ball that you put there, the eyes of Vladimir Jugovic that is thinking before going in that winning penalty that is bringing us that cup with the big ears that we are starting tomorrow. The fantasia of another one that won the Coppa UEFA against Dortmund and then won the Champions League with Dortmund against Juve, la fantasia di Andreas Müller, or the control of Kevin De Bruyne. Calma, ragazzi, calma. I know Adzic, I have sponsored him and I back him up, but these are the things that we don't need at the moment. Like, I don't need a lot of Juventini that are saying he's the best player of the world. Now we need to start him every game. The same people that last week or 3 days ago, they were telling me, hey, we should have loaned him because he will not have any space. He's not ready for Serie A. Calma, a bit of balance with the judgment. I'm sure of one thing. Like his ex-coach Mrovic from Podgorica in Montenegro is saying, his skill, his strongest point is the head, is the maturity. And that's why I'm really happy that he's next to a Kenan Yildiz in that picture. La testa da top, he has the maturity, the mind, the way of thinking, of behaving, the family that will bring him on the ground. Calma, not flying too much. I will be the first one to keep him cool and not going too crazy with him. Calma, ragazzi, piedi per terra. It's true that he's telling us he reminds me a bit of that Pogba, but è unico. He is unique. Like that first interview in Herzogenaurach. Not now, last summer already, where he said, De Bruyne, this, that. I am Adzic. These were his words. Calma, tranquilli. Now we must say thank you to Javorcic. And Tudor is already saying thank you to Javorcic for two things. The first one, because he's the one that during Juve Inter says, shh, he's ready. And Tudor calls him and he listens to his vice coach and he's putting on the field. Bravo Javorcic. But also for the work that they have been done. Because Tudor said there were some things that we didn't really like in his way of playing. Some certain habits that he had that we wanted to erase. Javorcic worked a lot with him like he was working with youth players in the past before becoming the coach of in Serie B with the first team. Before being called up as a vice coach at Lazio from Tudor, at Juve from Tudor. Beautiful Javorcic for the work, and also bravo to Comoli. No to sending him on loan to Palermo, to Sassuolo, to whatever other Italian team, to Braga in Portugal, or selling him to a club of Bundesliga that was interested. Bravo to say no, because it was not interested. Bravo to Tudor and Javorcic to say, oh, to Vasi, calma. Your time will come. Your minutes will come. Calma. We trust you. Work, 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 and you will have your time. Bravo, bravo, bravo. But you know which is the interview that I really like? The one of Jovetic. I always told you here since day one. In Montenegro, they are telling us Adzic is the best thing that happened to Montenegro football since Jovetic. We are speaking about 13, 14, maybe already 24 months ago. And now people are starting to see it. But Jovetic's interview was beautiful. He could potentially score 10 goals. Already this season, maybe 5, 6 goals. That would be beautiful for him. The position of the field is a mix between an 8 and number 10. But, like I was not ready for Serie A when I arrived at Fiorentina. Because in Montenegro we are focusing only on attacking football. These are the things that he needs to learn before being ready for Serie A to be a starter in the team of Tudor. And luckily, he has 1 year already of advantage, of time. 1 year that he adapted already to the language. Because Jovetic told him, learn Italian. Look at the way that he's already speaking Italian. Bravo, Adzic. He's starting to learn, to listen to Tudor that he wanted to thank, to Javorcic, to the way of playing. Bravo, bravo, bravo. But just to tell you how strong Vasi is, Jovetic says, I always take the free kicks at Montenegro, but it's over now. From the next one in national team, I give it to him because he's strong, because he shots better than me. Bravo, bravo, bravo. One that will be there against Dortmund is Kenan Yildiz. Maybe also the scouts of Chelsea that were there apparently for Juve Inter, if they want to spend unnecessary money for planes, for hotels, for the food, for the tickets of the game, if they want to do it, do it. The important thing is that Juve, as they already said, and they will continue to say, forget about Kenan Yildiz. So if they want to spend their money, spend the money. You know who will be there? Cambiaso. And probably also from the start, because after the 2 match ban in Serie A, he will be ready to play on the left. Pay attention for the future. A possibility for the future could be Cabal on the left, Cambiaso to the right. Not now. Wait a few weeks. Wait a few months. Some games I would not be surprised to see Cabal left, Cambiaso right. But that's something for later. And then, what about Conceição? He could potentially even play, but Juventus do not want to risk, so probably will not be there for the game against Dortmund, like Jegrova will not be there. Miretti soon will be back, but not yet. Is there another man that I wanted to tell you? Yes, Bremer. The big question mark is, when will he rest? Could he rest against Dortmund? Could he rest against Verona? If my first idea was, I don't know. Well, thinking about it, looking a bit, starting to analyze a bit how Dortmund started their season with 3 games, 7 points in Bundesliga, 8 goals scored already, 4 of them goals scored by Guirassy. I would tell you, you know what, play Bremer. And then what a Verona, beautiful assist! And then Verona we will see. If you enjoyed the video, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.